ourselves free, turn our dreams into reality. There's a reason we can never let it end. We're not stopping now.
We arrived in Vietnam on the Mekong River from Cambodia. Our boat broke down, so we were towed the last few miles until they could find a new boat to put us on. We arrived in Chau Doc, where we stayed only one night in a cool hostel and had a fantastic meal.
This is country number 33, Vietnam.
So,
Oh, awesome. Okay. Awesome. Here. So, did you see that, guys?
Yes.
So these are the things you add into your with your meat and your noodles. We just arrived in Vietnam and we're having dinner.
Chúng ta cùng đi chung dưới
We took a 2-hour taxi to Can Tho, which is the largest city in Vietnam's Mekong Delta. It's famous for its floating markets and rice noodle making, which we looked forward to checking out. First, we explored the natural beauty of the Delta with a friendly guide, True.
We are exploring a nature reserve in the kind of countryside of Can Tho, and we found this large metal tower, so we climbed all the way to the top. Pretty sketchy, it's pretty rusty, but the view is definitely worth the climb.
gió mưa về nghe thương nhớ thế.
nữa thôi.
Rồi, cái thịt nữa thôi. Đủ rồi.
Not making any noise.
Đường xa đâu quá xa, cớ sao từ lâu anh chẳng qua, để em nghe xót xa mối duyên tình của hai chúng ta.
We hired a boat to explore the Cai Rang floating market, where we had some fresh breakfast.
Ay, 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 en mi cama. La otra noche te vi con mi pana. Así se pone duro, 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 duro. Con esto me mataste, robaste mi orgullo. Si se pone duro, 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 duro.
Nói cho mày. They give us watermelon to try.
You got the Cai Rang floating market, which used to have 2,000 boats. I don't think we're going to see 2,000 boats here today. It's actually at the tail end of the market. They start really early in the morning to beat the heat, and it's almost 8, so we're going to see what's left.
It's really cool because on the boats there's a little stick that has a sample of what they're selling.
Cuando te necesita, yo quiero que me trates bien. Perdona.
Pulling up to the drive-thru. Here we got our banh mi drive-thru boat.
Một bộ chỉ có bộ trứng nữa, thôi gặp nhiều trứng thịt. Dạ, có đâu không cô?
This woman's selling banh mi. She says she's been selling them for 20 years from her boat, and maybe she makes 50 a day. So conservatively, that's about maybe 300,000 banh mi's here on the river.
I am eating a banh mi. It's really delicious.
What's in there?
There's like egg, cucumber, and a sausage and syrup.
Yo te lo dije, pero tú no. Yo tengo tu fotodita.
We also visited a family of merchants who lived on their boat selling various produce.
1, 2,
Bye, yo!
Todita pa' besarte tu boquita y cuando te necesita, yo quiero que me trates.
We're exploring in we are looking at the life of a local in their little houseboat thing.
Yeah.
Very fascinating.
Maybe now we can go to that boat too.
We're going to try milk apple. Never heard of it. Don't eat the skin. Don't eat the seed, because then a tree will grow in your tummy.
Duro, 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 no sé cómo olvidar.
It's very tasty, but I can't think of anything it tastes like. It's sweet, but not too sweet. Consistency of an apricot maybe.
Down one of the riverside canals was a small rice noodle factory, where we learned how noodles are still made the traditional way.
The white color is original color and the blue color also butterfly. Butterfly exactly and the yellow.
Ginger?
So for making the rice paper here, the first thing we put inside is the 80 of the rice powder and 20% of the tapioca powder, salt and water together. After that, we steam that mixture for about like 30 seconds. And after that, we must get a beautiful rice paper here. After that, we will dry the rice paper under the sun for about like 3 to 4 hours.
At the noodle factory. Checking out things they have for sale. And what do we see? For sale under here. Oh, it's a puppy.
We're taking a quick boat ride down the canal. It's very nice, very peaceful, very quiet. The sun is shining, and all of the trees are swinging red.
Like that. And you put the top on the middle. And enjoy.
Saigon, now officially known as Ho Chi Minh City, is a bustling city of 10 million people. We found a beautiful condo to call home for a week and set out to take in the sights and flavors of this historical yet cosmopolitan city. The night we arrived, we checked out a traditional water puppet show, which was remarkable. The water puppets are controlled with sticks hidden in the water. The effect accompanying the music made this ancient art truly magical. Our outstanding guide, Katie, showed us around, including a long day trip to the town of the Mekong Delta where she grew up. There was a small theme park on an island that we had fun exploring for a couple of hours.
So we are at this like tourist relaxation place, which also has some fun activities to do, like this one where you feed crocodiles. Kind of scary.
Just trying one of the many types of coffees here in Vietnam. This is Cafe Surda, which is coffee on ice, but it's steeping here in a little filter cup, if you will. And it's going to make its way down into the cup eventually, and then I'll pour it over ice. All right, so we mix it up. There's already condensed milk in the cup. And we're going to dump this into the ice. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's very nice.
Are they pulling on it? Splashing.
Everybody gets some. They go from this to this.
Going to the river.
This is our tuk-tuk ride.
We took a small boat to visit a family-run fruit farm where we learned about agriculture and tasted so many fresh fruits.
I picked a kumquat. The most sour thing I've ever tasted in my life, but it's yummy. Giant jackfruit.
Nice.
Say that 5 times fast. Starfruit.
rất tốt thế nhưng thà đừng gặp vui hơn. Em rất tiếc thế nhưng thà làm người cô đơn.
Wow.
Tốt lên
It does shake, it is like a bubble gum.
rằng mẹ anh bắt chia tay. Anh cũng rất tốt thế nhưng mình chẳng hợp nhau đâu. Em có chút tiếc đôi khi mình chẳng phải cô dâu. Em sẽ ghé đám cưới anh và
Back in Saigon, when it was cooler in the evenings, we'd walk around the city center, watching street performances, shopping, and just observing life in the bustling metropolis. The Chu Chi tunnels are one of the most popular sites to learn about the horrors of the American war in Vietnam.
We are just standing on the Chu Chi tunnels, which are these tunnels that the Vietnamese people dug out when the Americans came and attacked them. And we're about to go in, but we're just looking at this kind of museum of artillery that they took from the Americans when they were attacking.
During the French War, Indochina was right here. War was built in 1948 and this was built in 1955. Make the tunnel system never ever flooded when the rain season's coming.
We just went into the first of a number of the Coochie tunnel systems where we're on a tour. We went in over there. We came out here. We got to see a large well system where they would have fresh water.
The hand-dug tunnels themselves span hundreds of kilometers and were created to move and house troops away from American eyes and bombs. They are an amazing feat of engineering, but must have been terrible to live in for years while a war raged on above.
You guys gonna live down there for a couple of years?
Absolutely not.
Từ ngày mai cả hai đừng nhớ gì. Không nhất thiết phải chúc anh hạnh phúc, nhưng ngày cưới của anh em nhớ đi. Quên phong bì cũng không sao, tới và về miễn đừng để ai thấy. Chuyện cũ xin đừng kể ai hay, có thuộc cũng đừng hát tặng anh bài này.
Well, this is a crater hole. And then I just said, well, that's probably a crater hole. That's probably a crater hole. And our guide was saying that it's a pain for the locals if they want to plant a tree or build a house there because they're going to have to buy a bunch of dirt to level out the hole so they could do what they want to do on their land. But since the war happened, now they have big crater holes in their property.
The never-ending motorcycle traffic never ceased to amaze us as we walked through it or watched it from our high-rise apartment. We took a short flight up the coast to Da Nang to meet our grandparents who are flying from Canada for a month of adventuring with us. After months of traveling through Asia, we were so excited to share some essential experiences with them, like getting lost on long walks down side alleys and exotic smells and flavors of night markets.
So one of the things you will often find in Vietnam is these almost rice plastic papery things. And so when you put them in water, they become more like a thick rice noodle. And often you're giving these and a bunch of greens along with your spring rolls. And so I'm going to show you how you properly use these while you're in Asia. So you take your rice paper, you take the spring rolls, you put it in your rice paper, and you can see where I'm going here. So I often use mint because I'm very familiar, and you'll often find lots of leaves that maybe you don't recognize. And so we're going to put some mint and some lettuce as well. And then you take your paper and roll it right up. Then you can enjoy it. We are having dinner at the Chickpea Eatery or Mom's Kitchen, and it's very famous because it's a nice vegan restaurant, and apparently the atmosphere is so incredible you feel like you are actually eating dinner in a mom's kitchen, and it looks the right way.
Very interesting. Thousands of people, crowded, lots of activity.
Smell.
Great food, really good smells. Loving it.
Chiều chiều ra đứng bờ sông, giây phút chạnh lòng anh có trách đa đa. Xin đừng trách đa.
There was also time to enjoy the beach before driving up to Hoi An, where we got to celebrate the Lunar New Year in this quaint and beautiful town on the banks of Thu Bon River.
So we just arrived in Hoi An at our hotel, the Grace place, and we're just looking at the koi fish that they have. A pool behind us, and we're just gonna go out for lunch and have a swim when we get back.
Vẫn rơi rơi hoài cho lòng nhớ ai. Ngày chia tay hôm nào còn đây, nước trên sông Hương. Chiều nay trên kinh đô Huế, tiếng mưa.
La Jolla Island was a perfect place to take a slow bike ride and soak up the sense of life in this small town.
Anh còn nhớ không? Chợ Đông Ba khi mình qua, lá me bay bay là đà.
Sensory, and they experience the product. Yeah, and after that,
We're taking a tour of a little village called Truan Ha, and it's known for the families that do terracotta pottery. And what's kind of neat and interesting about this little village that is something we haven't seen yet, you pay an entry fee to come into the village, and the proceeds of those tickets go to all of the families, and each family has a little area set up for you to see the work they're doing, but also to let you try to do pottery yourself.
It's really, really good.
it's okay. This one.
It's perfect mix of like nutty and sweet. It's like very good.
biết ai đã quên ai rồi.
It is a green tea with cinnamon and other spices maybe.
Lemongrass.
And lemongrass,
Yeah.
which is fat.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mưa rơi thì
Our guide Lily showed us to some of Hoi An's ancient town, including wooden houses built hundreds of years ago and an amazing Buddhist shrine.
mình cô đơn.
We were loving Vietnamese cuisine and looking forward to a cooking class where we could learn the secrets of making it ourselves.
We are taking a day from our wonderful time in Hoi An to do a cooking class. And so we're going to be making 5 dishes on the span of 2.5 hours. And right now we're making the broth for the pho, and it smells really good.
We learned to grind our own rice and transform it into rice paper for spring rolls.
Cùng thầy mẹ vẫn đầu soi gương. Cắt nhỏ đuôi gà cao, em đeo dài yếm đào, quần lính áo the mới, tay em cầm chiếc nón quai thao, chân em đi đôi guốc cao.
We're making the sweet and sour fish sauce. That'll be sort of a staple dipping sauce for much of the meal.
Nhìn em thẹn thùng em không nói, em bây giờ mới tròn 15, em đi còn bé lắm.
We're making these pancakes that are folded over and have some meat and beans spread on the side. Comes down. So we just spent the whole afternoon preparing a delicious feast, and at the very end we're going to sit down, we're going to eat, but we have some beef pho, fish sauce, white rice, we have aubergine in a sauteed tomato sauce, we have the ban chow, which is the pancake filled with pork and bean sprouts, and then we have a lovely salad made out of carrot, some herbs, and then peanuts, sesame, and onion. Banana flour as well.
The street markets were bustling as people hurried to buy what they needed for their family's Lunar New Year celebrations.
So this is a ban tet or tet cake, and it's a traditional dessert had around the Lunar New Year, and we're gonna try it. It's extremely sticky, and it's not very sweet like I would expect from sticky rice. It's good though.
We're gonna have these like ice cream balls that have been soaked in liquid nitrogen, and so they're freezing cold. So when you put them in your mouth and blow out, it looks like you have dragon's breath.
All right, let's check it out.
Smoke coming out.
We hired a van to drive us 2 hours to the imperial city of Hue, the seat of the New In Dynasty emperors who ruled the 18th and 19th centuries. Our guides, two university friends, Liu and Pew, taught us about the dynasty's impact on Vietnamese culture.
We're visiting the Imperial City here in Hue. We've been checking out the Citadel all morning. There's all sorts of interesting sights from the reign of the royal family here in Vietnam. They were not a long dynasty, about 100 years, from early 1800s, I think 1803 to 1945. So they kind of came in 1803 to unify the country of Vietnam for the first time, up until 1945 where the Japanese came and took over. It kind of lived through the French colonization period and it's since dissolved and handed their power over to Ho Chi Minh.
We were introduced to the regional food such as the loco pho called bum bo hue, which includes pork knuckles and pig blood. Yum!
So we're at the tomb of the king Tho, and he was the 4th king of Vietnam. And he's kind of famous for not really wanting to do the kingly duties and just chilling around and writing poetry. So welcome to the train station. We are now waiting for our overnight train that will take us from Hue, which is where we are right now, to Ninh Binh. And this is our second overnight train, although it's first for Grandma and Grandpa.
welcome to our overnight train. So the girls are sharing a room, and then the boys have a room just a few cars down, and I thought I'd give you the tour. So, first of all, here's Claire, and this is her bed. And so down here we have Mom's bed and Grandma's bed, and some complimentary snacks. That's our breakfast down there.
What did you think of the overnight train?
I slept fine, better than I thought I would.
Who was the loudest snorer in the cabin?
I didn't hear anyone snoring because I wore earplugs, but Molly was making little home sounds all night.
We traveled by train to the town of Tamkok, which is famous for its proximity to beautiful natural parks with towering cliffs, rivers, and caves to explore. Our family-run homestay hotel was nestled in a quiet, spectacular valley just a short bike ride from a tourist town. We had plenty of fun relaxing in this paradise.
One day I finally know your soy. One day I come to you to say hello, Vietnam. Bạn hãy nói tôi mái tóc đen tới đây trên.
We're in Trang An, and we're going to do one of the famous boat tours. I'm very excited. So it's very busy. We waited for just 10 minutes to get our tickets, and then we're going to go get on our boat. And so we're going to take maybe a 3-hour route, see some temples, pagodas, and yeah. So we're just waiting in line about to get on our boat.
We had read that Chang'an is a quieter place with less chaos and nicer 3-hour-long boat and grotto tours. But the exact opposite was true. We've been over 2.5 hours sort of in line waiting mode just to get on the boat. It's already lunch. We were hoping to be done shortly thereafter. And we're just getting started for our 3-hour trip. So, a lot of long faces. Simon's pitching in and helping, but it's pretty beautiful.
Sự thật nào ai thấu hiểu, mỗi đêm em buồn trong nỗi cô đơn.
So we just took a 3-hour car ride to the area of Pulong, and it's very, very nice here. The first thing we did was go on this wonderful walk down the mountain. And it's beautiful. It's rice planting season, so we got to see a lot of farmers doing their work. And we're just going to spend the next 2 days here relaxing and enjoying our time.
We're spending a couple days at a little family homestay here up in the mountains in central Vietnam. It's really just beautiful. We've also hit it at just the right time where you can see everybody behind me. It's planting season, so we've got cows out plowing in the fields. All the local families are out planting their fields. It's quite a beautiful time to be here and just to see everybody how industrious they all are in getting the rice in the ground. Just really beautiful spot.
And dum on the other one.
So we're about to start driving a 4-hour drive back to Hanoi.
On our way to Hanoi, we took a road straight up a steep mountain and had to turn back after it was clear that there was no way we could safely drive through the mountain pass. We stopped for lunch at a small town with surprisingly great Korean food when the battery died on our van. It was a good adventure in the end and gave Grandma and Grandpa a taste of the unexpected things which happen when we travel. We spent several days exploring Hanoi by ourselves.
So we're just wandering around Hanoi, and there's this street called the Toy Street. Like every corner basically has like 3 toy shops, and we're just kind of checking them out. They have like a lot of like knockoff Lego and Minecraft and stuff.
We're Cafe Jing in Hanoi. They're having egg coffee. This was invented back in 1946 at this very coffee shop. It was way to have coffee when there was a shortage of milk, so we came up with a recipe with egg yolks.
First, you need to mix it. First, you try a spoonful of the egg yolk.
Very good.
You gotta eat a spoonful of the egg.
Well, we just stopped. We're out on a tour, and we bought banh mi's. And mine has minced beef in it. Basically, a Vietnamese version of Subway. Really yummy. The atmosphere is pretty intense, but a good time all.
Descendant of a holy bird. Just like when we got chasing away from China invasion, you look at the bird and the bird solar.
So we're just sitting at a cafe in Hanoi at the famous train street, where the popular thing is to do is just come, sit down at a cafe, order a drink, and watch the train just go by like 3 feet from you.
With our great guide, Lin. We visited the National Museum and the deep bunker where the Vietnamese commanders fought the war against the Americans.
From China dominant. Yeah. So from here we have a capital in Vietnam.
Good.
Halong Bay, with its towering limestone cliffs, is a world-renowned symbol of Vietnam. We took a 2-night cruise on a small boat to explore some of the most remote parts of the area.
We're about to board our Halong Bay cruise ship.
So we got on our boat. We're gonna get some lunch pretty soon, and it's a little bit foggy. The weather forecast said it would be sunny, but it's pretty foggy.
Want to show me the room quickly?
Sure.
We spent 2 lovely days gliding through the gorgeous scenery, kayaking, and eating so much seafood. We learned about the local people who cultivate pearls and seafood and live on the floating houses in small inlets on the bay.
So we're just kayaking, going to our lunch stop at a beach in the middle of the Halong Bay, and it's really beautiful. We're just probably about halfway there. You can just see all these rocks and and the plains and the cliffs. Oh, it's really beautiful.
We're on the beach, having a barbecue lunch. We started with barbecue prawns, and then we had barbecue
Chicken kebabs.
fish kebabs, and then we had barbecue chicken wings, and then we had barbecue pork.
We're just trying jellyfish for the first time. Apparently, Claire said it tastes like cucumbers, so right. Doesn't really taste like anything actually. It's fine.
On the way back to Hanoi, we got to experience another water puppet show with live music.
Busted!
It was almost time for Grandma and Grandpa to fly back to Canada and for us to move on to Hong Kong. We still found some time to explore Hanoi and try a few last memorable dishes.
I'm having my last egg coffee in Vietnam before heading to Hong Kong. We're in a very popular and crowded cafe called Cafe Din, and this just looks amazing. Cheers.
All the great food of Vietnam.
Sharing these experiences with my mom and dad.
Our cooking class in Hoi An.
Taking a cruise in Halong Bay.
Our homestay in Phu Long.